hundreds of thousands of dollars in your own freezer. I don't know how I got there. It's not mine. See, you guys just set him up, man. You set him up. You break ethics rules. Oh, we'll just give you a little slap on the wrist there, and you can actually get reelected to the office where you committed this corruptible offense. Oh, you're a Democrat and you got sent to jail for cocaine use? Well, maybe the people won't vote you for mayor again, but yeah, city council, come on in, brother. We're going to reelect you. I'm just sick and tired of the double standard. Hey, Republicans, they want to take away women's health care because they want to take away a woman's right to get an abortion. Oh, women's abortion, that's all women's health care. That's all it's about. The Republicans want to take it away. They want to harm women. They want to make sure that women suffer by giving birth to a kid that they don't want. They want to take away women's health care because they don't care about women. There's a war on women. The Republicans are waging a war on women. And you know exactly where I'm going next, don't you? Because you're an ecclesiastite. That's right. You got Muslims who are stoning and beating and whipping and killing women left and right. They are shackled and chained. They have no freedom to move about. In many Muslim countries, they can't drive. They can't get an education past the 6th or 8th grade. They can't hold government office. They have to cover up. They can't go anywhere without a male escort from somebody from their own family. And they have to, they can't be out there and just talking and speaking their mind. They have to only be seen and can't be heard. And yet there's a war being waged by Republicans who want women to have equal rights, equal pay, and all the benefits of running for public office and doing everything else, breaking the glass ceiling, all that kind of stuff. But hey, the Republicans are waging war on women because they don't want women to be able to have an abortion. But if you're a Democrat, you're going to support Sharia law because, hey, it's just freedom of religion. Oh, but you want to be a Christian and put up a statue of Jesus on Christmas? No, there's no separation of church and state. Oh, but we can bring in Sharia law. Why are we putting up with this double standard? Why? And you're saying, well, Rod, we're not. Yes, we are. Maybe that's why Eamon Bundy has finally had enough. And his band of merry men. I won't call him merry. Probably, well, not Robin Hood, but what? Why not Robin? You know what that story's about? Let me just digress for a second here, because everybody thinks that Robin Hood is he's this folk hero, but he's also a criminal. He stole from the rich and gave to. Do you know who Robin Hood stole from? He didn't steal from the rich. He stole from the government. Why do you think the sheriff of Nottingham wanted to get him so bad? He was stealing from the government. He was taking the money that was being paid out in taxes, and he was giving it back to the people who paid those usury taxes. He was stealing from the government. And historically speaking, there is a legitimate argument. Was he really stealing? Or was he really refunding the overpayment of taxes by an overbearing, overtaxing government? I mean, you decide on that one. But the truth is, he wasn't stealing from the rich. He was stealing from the government. You don't do that. Not in any country. At any time, you can't. If you can steal from your neighbor, and that means you might be able to get away with it. But you steal, they will. One of the things I know I come back to TV and TV programs a lot, and it's simply because it's sort of it kind of reflects society. You got the Tom Selleck TV show Blue Bloods. I've seen a few episodes of it. It's okay, not bad. But one of the episodes, it struck me as because Tom Selleck his character is the police commissioner, chief of police of what is it, commissioner in New York City, or is it chief of police? Well, it doesn't matter. He's the big guy. He's the head cop in New York City. And he gives a press conference once, and he says, "We will stop at nothing to hunt you down, track you down, and bring you to justice. We will stop at nothing." Now, that's kind of reflective that if you do something against the government of this country, they will stop at nothing to railroad you either into jail or into the grave. It's just the facts. They will stop at nothing. It doesn't, if you steal $100 from the IRS, they will spend $100 million, if that's what it takes, to track you down and bring you to justice. Because it isn't about the money. That's one thing you got to understand. It's not about the money. It is about the power and the control. And there is no way that you should be able to challenge their power and their control and their authority. Because if you do, that is the worst thing you could possibly do, even in this country when we are supposed to have the freedom to address our government and come before them and get some sort of regress. But no, you can't do. In fact, they're setting up systems where it becomes more and more difficult for the citizen to be able to control their own government. You've got judges now saying, well, you can't sue the government over this law because you have no standing. What? I'm a citizen. And this law affects me. Well, but it hasn't really directly affected you yet, so you have no standing. So, in other words, I've got to wait until the government comes busting down my door and shoots me dead before I have standing. Well, according to some judges, yes. But on the other hand, the government can come in, hey, government, you don't have any standing to take my gun simply because my neighbor says I might be a little bit nutso. Oh, yeah, we do. Because it's for the safety of everybody, especially the safety of government officials. But you don't have any standing. Oh, we've got all the standing in the world. Maybe that's why Ammon Bundy and his band of merry men have taken over a federal refuge out there in Oregon. Because maybe they too are sick and tired of the double standard, of the blatant, obvious double standard. It is so blatant, and so they're not even trying to hide their double standards. They used to try to hide it and try to downplay it. And, well, no, it's not that bad. And we're not really saying it this way, but it's really, no, they don't care anymore. They are so obvious about it. The only thing they're not doing is they're not just coming out and saying, yeah, we have a double standard and we like it. That's the only next step that they got. Because they're not hiding their double standard anymore. They're that. Look, 1,300 seats nationwide since 2010 lost to the Republicans from the Democrats. I don't know what else there is to say. The people are trying and trying and trying. Thankfully, not hard enough on the national level, but they're trying to retake their government, at least locally and on a statewide level. But the fewer Democrats that are in elected office, the more deranged, evil, and dangerous they get. And yet, for some reason, Republicans hold all of this vast power, and they don't use it. And when they don't use their power, they're told that, we're told, oh, yeah, they're wise, they're working with us, they're crossing the aisle. It's a beautiful thing. It's bipartisan. I mean, Paul Ryan, you got Chuck Schumer out there saying, hey, wow, this is amazing, man. We got more than we asked for. And now Paul Ryan's their hero. When Paul Ryan had the power to crush them. which is what he should have done. But no. Because all you hear about is like, oh, yeah, the American people, they want the Republicans to work with the Democrats. They want the Republicans to capitulate. They want the Republicans. But yet and still, we go out there and keep electing Republicans over Democrats over the last 6 years. More and more Republicans. But the lamestream media keeps telling us, well, the people want the Republicans to back off. They want the Republicans to work with the Democrats. They want the Republicans to become more liberal. No, we don't, which is why we keep electing Republicans. Maybe that's why Ammon Bundy and his band of merry men took over the refuge in Oregon. You really have to start asking those kind of questions. We're not. You got to start addressing them. You've got to start pointing out and damning the people that need to be damned. And that's just it. You need to start condemning the people that need to be condemned, and make no apologies about it. Do not be. If you are afraid to speak your mind, you are capitulating and digging your own grave. You really are. Look, as far as the left is concerned, if you're not with them, you're against them anyway. And even if you just remain silent, if you do not support them, you are against them. So it doesn't matter if you're a loudmouth or if you're silent. You are dead to them anyway. Do not doubt me. You know, you got the left out there who always says that the death penalty, oh, that's a barbaric act. But then they talk about how George W. Bush needs to be hung. Literally. You know, we shouldn't be out there killing people. You know, our military, man, they're just evil because they're running around killing people, yet they will kill millions of babies in the womb every year. And they'll call that health care, by the way. And we got health care, too. It's called lead poisoning. Here's something out of Oregon, by the way. From The Guardian, authorities plan to cut off power to the militia at occupied Oregon Refuge. Why haven't they already done it? Isn't that protocol number one in a hostage situation? You know, basically they're holding the refuge. I know there's nobody there, but they're holding the building in the nature reserve around it, refuge, hostage. After all, according to the left, plants and animals have more human rights than humans do. So aren't they holding animals hostage? So why haven't they already cut the power? I mean, that would seem... So I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Because they're setting this up, folks. They are setting this up. Don't doubt me. And I don't think that Bundy and his band of merry men are actually all that stupid. I mean, I think what they just did was kind of stupid, but they're not stupid as... I'm sure they understand and know what to expect from the government in response to what they've just done. And I'm sure in some way they're fully prepared for whatever. Because, you know, some of these guys, from what I understand, some of these guys are, well, I don't know, they're former military. And so there goes that whole note. See, you got all these former military, and they're domestic terrorists now. Now there was a Star Trek Next Generation episode. Again, I'm going back to TV. But it reflects real life society. There is an episode where this planet had a war with another planet. And they took these volunteers and they bioengineered them to be these super soldiers. And when the war was over, and those soldiers those men that volunteered to be turned into these super soldiers won the war,